So let's just stop with the excuses, stop with the reasons, stop with why Jimmy Garoppolo struggled, stop blaming the ankle, and just come to the conclusion that he's not the guy. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy. I have been a staunch supporter for most of his time there, but this past season, I've lost all faith in anything he can do, for the simple fact that with him, there's always caveats and excuses of why he doesn't perform. And now it's the ankle. I just simply believe that he just doesn't have it. I feel like after his knee injury, he is no longer the player that he once was before. But what was he before? You know, he came in on a team that was at the end of a really bad season, and he wins 5 meaningless games. Comes out at the beginning of the season, next season, and is jittery against the Lions. Plays okay against the Chiefs before tearing his ACL. And then next year, you know, the Niners have a great year based on their defense and their running game. And yeah, Jimmy played well at times during last year, but when it comes down to it, they protect themselves from him because he can't be counted on. And the simple fact is the Seahawks played defense with their hair on fire, forcing Jimmy Garoppolo to beat them, and he couldn't do it. And I'm sick of the excuses of offensive line or anything along those lines. The fact that he always has to have a running game to protect him is ridiculous. You're getting paid as much as he's getting paid, what, $25 million plus? And they have to create an offense around your inabilities, where they have to throw screen passes or run the ball 35 times a game. I'm sick of it. It's evident that Jimmy Garoppolo goes into business for himself. He doesn't stand in there and make the throw. He's fragile as hell to me. He's not built to be an NFL quarterback. He is talented, but I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is a scheme-dependent player, which means that Kyle Shanahan does things to make him look better than he is. I feel like New England saw something, and something was there, but I just don't feel like he has it between the ears anymore, and that's what's important. If a quarterback doesn't have it between the ears, or they don't have the courage, then they might as well not play. People blaming the defense in this game, I don't blame the defense at all. The way the Niners win is they play keep away, and they run the ball constantly. And then they hit the play action off of that, or the reverses and the jet sweeps and all that stuff. But the fact is, a defense came in willing to stop that stuff, daring you to throw, and you didn't do anything at all to them. And then, the argument's going to be made about Nick Mullins. No, he's not the answer either. He's coming in a second half where a team's probably playing prevent the whole time, and his stats look really good, but I've seen enough of him. I've seen enough of Beathard. I've seen enough of Jimmy to know that the Niners don't have their future quarterback on this team. And the leaders of this team have to come to a conclusion sooner than later. Let's not waste the prime years of really good players with substandard quarterback play. Make a decision at the end of the year. You've paid him most of his guaranteed money. You don't owe him that much. You can do a lot with this team if you cut him and maybe sign a guy like a Matt Ryan or somebody else, depending on how the season turns out. If the Niners end up tanking this year and you have a chance to draft a young quarterback at the top of the draft, you got to do it. If you can move Jimmy for picks, if you can, move a guy like Ward for picks, I would do it. I think the Niners should be at sell at the deadline. Honestly, I think this season, I'm probably going to lose viewers for this and subs, but that's okay. I think the season's a lost cause. I think with the amount of injuries that they're dealing with and just the no direction of this team with this quarterback as a starter, we'll see in the next couple of games. This season, the Niners could save themselves, but why? Why save themselves? It's almost like if they do well and they finish out, then they're just going to mask the problem and not improve. Whereas if they lose out or do pretty bad down the stretch, you hit the reset button with the quarterback. You still got players. You got offensive weapons. Get a young QB with a good running game and a defense. You'd be surprised what you can do. Or, bring a veteran in and draft a guy. I don't know. Whatever it takes. Tevin Coleman went down with an injury today. Not surprising. The way this season's been, looks like George Kittle hurt his ankle. And we'll see how that goes. Fred Warner was feared to have hurt himself, but he stayed in the game. He's a true warrior, fights through the pain, plays through the pain, and that's the kind of guys you want in your team. I honestly just think that for anybody who's defended Garoppolo up to this point with all the excuses, just needs to really take an honest look at this team. I've watched enough games to know what I'm talking about. I've been alive long enough to know what good quarterback play looks like. The reason that Seattle is where they are is not because of their defense. It's not because of their running game. It's because of Russell. The Chiefs without Mahomes are not the Chiefs. These teams are what they are because they have a true quarterback, a star, an MVP candidate, a guy who you can put the game on his shoulders and ride it out and not always have to depend on the running game or the defense playing a lights-out game and, having Nick Bosa and Dee Ford. I mean, it happens. Guys get hurt and they're out for the year. And they have to figure out a way to fight through it. And when you don't have a quarterback who's a leader who can't do that, this is what happens. This isn't a post-game review where I talk about things the Niners did well and the Niners didn't do well. This is my honest feelings about Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the Niners need to move off of him. Hopefully they're going to do it at the end of the year. I don't know what they're going to do come trade deadline. I wonder if they're going to be sellers. I guess we'll see in the next couple weeks. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have some serious decisions to make, and they not need to let pride or because they pick somebody be the reason why they don't change. Do what you got to do. Don't waste the prime years of good players because you have one player who's holding the team back. Do what you have to do. Take the L as far as going in on a guy and move on. And it's that simple. And the fans will forgive you very quick if you start winning. So I really don't have any pluses for this game except to say Ayuk's a stud. And he's going to have a bright future in this league. I feel bad for him that he doesn't have a quarterback who has the balls to get the ball to him and make plays. They're going to waste his time, too, on this team, and that's sad. Kittle not getting the ball is just – there's no excuse for it. Simple fact of the matter is teams don't respect the pass. They don't respect Jimmy, so they're going to blitz. And when you can't beat them, they're going to beat your quarterback up. They got to find ways to make plays. The offensive line does have to play better. Shanahan has to call a better game. I'm not going to call the defense out on this one. They're missing a lot of players, and yeah, they could have played better, but you got an MVP quarterback and a damn good receiver in Metcalf and Lockett, and that's what happens. If they could have, held the ball and ran the ball and, worked the clock and scored for score this game, then they would have had a chance to win. But when you don't have a quarterback that can do that, then you're beat. So I hope you guys agree with me. If you don't, that's cool too. Tell me what you think in the comments of what the Niners should do going forward. Do you think the Niners should be sellers at the deadline? Do you think the Niners should be in the market for a quarterback next year? What other needs do you think this team needs? And where do we go from here? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if I'm overreacting or if I'm onto something. All right? I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you on the flip side. See ya.